Hello, welcome back, Her Empowered Tribe. So glad to have you back. This is a very busy week for all of us. Festivities is around the corner. So today, after I get this video done, I'm going to go out and get some Christmas decorations. Turns out my sister-in-law had COVID and was supposed to go to her house for Thanksgiving, but it's all canceled as of last night. So now I got to think about cooking my own Thanksgiving dinner for our family, and hopefully it wouldn't be too crazy out there, but it is what it is. And I'm glad we're able to do it like a personal one for just my family, because we did have that last year, but it's kind of nice to just be in the comfort of your own home and just feast away. Without further ado, let's get to the Book of Awakening. Today's passage: the next moment of love. To allow oneself to be carried away by a multitude of conflicting concerns, to surrender to too many demands, to commit oneself to too many projects, to want to help everyone in everything is to succumb to violence. The frenzy of the activist neutralizes his or her work for peace. Merton wisely challenges us not just to slow down, but at the heart of it, to accept our limitations. We are at best filled with the divine, but we have only two hands and one heart. In a deep and subtle way, the one to do it all is a one to be it all. And though it comes from a desire to do good, it often becomes frenzied because our ego sees our goodness as a way to be revered. I have done this many times, not wanting to say no, not wanting to miss an opportunity, not wanting to be seen as less than totally compassionate. But wherever I cannot bring my entire being, I am not there. It is like offering to bring too many cups of coffee through a crowd. I always spill something hot on some innocent along the way. Helen Luke speaks to all this when she talks of the trap of good works. She refers to those who take refuge from themselves in an unreflective pursuit of good, pouring all their energy into the redemption of society and other people, while blind to their own personal darkness. It seems the old adage is a place to start. Do one thing and do it well. Though I would offer it as do one thing at a time and do it entirely, and it will lead you to the next moment of love. I like this passage. It is for all the people pleasers out there. I'm not going to deny I'm one of them. I think there is like caregivers who are very, especially women, we are caregivers. We take care of our family, we take care of our children, we take care of our extended family. It's just a very the nurturing part of us that always wants to be the caretaker. And I have done this so many times where it's not that I'm afraid to say no. I think it's more like I have such a big heart that I want to help everybody. But what I realize in my journey is that when I want to help everybody, I'm not really helping myself. And slowly but surely, I feel like my energy source is being depleted because I keep giving, and I'm not really taking the time to do self-care. I think as of the last video, we talked a lot about self-care and setting your boundaries. I think when it comes to people pleasing, that's another thing that we need to think about, setting boundaries for ourselves, because like for me, sometimes I do not know when that stop button is, and I will just keep going and going and going, and before I know it, I'm at the burnt out stage. How many of us are so burnt out right now, especially with the pandemic, and women has to take a lot more responsibility, not just outside of work, but also in our house. We got to be the teacher, we got to be the caregiver to our children, we got to be the housekeeper, we got to be so many things to so many people. And just like when you're in an airplane, the air stewardess will always tell us to put our oxygen mask first before we go rescuing other people. I think it is a very good reminder of the priorities that we need to put in place, is to stop putting others first, not in a selfish way, but in a way that in order for you to be the best that you can be, you need to always fill your cup. And by filling your cup could be as simple as going to get your manicure done. Like I said, you have the physical self-care, like go to the salon, get your hair done, put on your makeup, go get manicure, go get a massage. But there's also the other internal self-care that you need to take care of, that is to fill your spirit. I don't think that, as much as I would love to be the best and loving caregiver, I know when I am running on empty, I get very frustrated easily. I get short with people. As much as I'm taking care of them, I'm not doing it with the best attitude per se, or best without resentment. I think that's the main thing too. So I think this is a really good passage to remind us to really take the time to be okay for not being the caregiver all the time, not to be perfect all the time. If you're like me, I'm a go-getter. I'm always on the run. I like to do 15 things in the same minute, partly because of my career. I do tend to do that. I'm a multitasker because I want to do a lot of things at the same time. But when I fall short of having accomplish those things, I tend to get very frustrated with myself because, like everyone else, we wish we have more hours in the day to do so many different things, but we don't. We all have an equal amount of time that we can accomplish things, and sometimes it's okay to be okay with not doing those things. And that's something that I learned. It is very, 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 very hard for somebody who is like me, that wants to get so many things done. We thrive on being productive. We thrive on getting as many things done as possible. But again, it leads us back to that burnt out, where we just feel so depleted because we took care of all these things on our list, but we forgot to respect our own self by taking the time to take care of ourselves. Do we, replenish? And I have learned in my journey to learn to say no. It is a very hard thing to do. To say, you know what, I don't feel like doing it. I know that I can do it, but I respect more of my own wishes. If I don't feel like I want to do it, I just don't do it. Like even dishes, laundry, I love to have the house organized because it makes me feel calm and less chaotic. But there are days where I am just so wiped from the day to day that I just don't want to do that. I don't want to make dinner. I don't want to straighten up the house. I don't want to go and take my boys to sports. And that's where I just tell my husband that I don't have the capacity right now to do those things. And that's where, our loved ones can step up and help support us. But the main thing is the guilt, right? We all feel guilty. I can definitely share the experience of when I started the journey of self-awareness, being more awake. That guilt that I constantly feel when I respect myself. You would think that if you respect yourself, you will not feel guilty, but that's quite the opposite. In fact, I feel very guilty because I keep in the back of my mind thinking like I should be doing all these things, but I'm not doing it, and I feel bad, and I feel like I cannot rest because I feel like I should be doing those things. And it almost backfires because it's almost worse sitting home feeling guilty. But it is a muscle that you have to build for yourself. And one thing you need to know about women is we should be the receiver, so there's this masculine and feminine in us. Everybody has it. Even guys have the masculine side and the feminine side. The feminine side is really to receive, to be open to receiving. And I think that as women, it's very hard for us to receive because we are so tuned to giving. But giving is a very masculine energy. And with the energy of the planet changing, it is women are called to go back to our femininity and which is really hard because we are so trained by society to be all things to everyone, that is not really in us anymore. And so it is a muscle that you have to build to be open to receiving, to be happy in receiving. Like yesterday, I've been telling my husband, we finished the entire kitchen and we had to get some new trims, and I've been talking to him, and yesterday he initiated going to the store to look at trims together, and I'm happy with that because my husband is offering his act of service to get these trims done, and I am happy in receiving. And there is this joy that comes when you see that people are giving, because sometimes you get to that resentful stage where it's like, why am I always doing this? Why is everybody having fun? Like sometimes I get to that resentment mode and I'm like, I want to be the fun parent too. I want to play Xbox too. I want to play Apex with my son and be the fun mom. But that's always my husband's job. He always does that. And I feel like I'm always left with the chore, left with the dishes, left with the laundry, left with the cleaning. And I want to have fun and I want to just do what I want to do. That's kind of why I always complain. But I think that sometimes it's okay to say no to the things that you don't want to do, because there's always tomorrow. Obviously, you don't want to create a habit of procrastination either, but I think that there is a balance of respecting your health, respecting your body, because I think that when you do a lot of things for everybody, you're not just exhausted spiritually, you're exhausted physically. Because I'm sure all of us would raise our hands and say, who's the one that wake up for the kids? All of us, right? And so like we don't get enough sleep, and we take care of everybody, and it's very hard to give from an empty cup. And so and to give with a whole heart that is willing and excited, and giving wholeheartedly means there is no resentment, means there is no holding back, meaning there's no complaining. And in order to do that is to be a good receiver, to receive what people has to offer to you. And like I said, it's a muscle that you have to build, and to be when you are in a good place yourself and you feel like you're ready to give 100% of yourself, and that's where you feed yourself, fill your cup, and feel like you're in a good spirit. And that's where giving is the best, coming from that place, because you don't feel like you're shortchanged because you give. Well, I hope that this video serves you, ladies. A lot of information. This is the time of holidays and the time of running around, and again, being mothers, women, we are giving. Take a moment, take a step back, do something for you. I always talk to some of my friends who are grandmothers, and they are like, oh yeah, this weekend I'm going to spend time with my grandkids. It's like, but you're not doing that for you. I know that you love your grandchildren, but you are not taking time to take care of you. What are you doing for yourself? This is what I always tell to my clients. Like, yes, it is fun. Yes, it's something you like, but it's not something you're doing for yourself. So ask yourself, what currently are you doing for yourself to fill your cup and to feed your soul? Well, I hope this message served you. I hope to talk to you again. If I don't see you before Thanksgiving, have a wonderful time with your family. Remember, self-care is important, not just for you to caretake, but also to take care of yourself, respect your boundaries, fill your cup, and take some time to do stuff that is just specially for you. Well, until next time, ladies, you have an amazing day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.